12 tips of Christmas that consumer credit gave to me.
All right, welcome to our Christmas edition of the Counselor's Corner. Today we thought we would introduce the 12 credit tips. And I will start off with avoiding impulse buys. And I think a lot of the attraction this time of year are the tremendous discounts that you see when you're out on Black Friday, on Cyber Monday. And just because something is on sale at a great price doesn't make it a great gift for everybody. And I think just sometimes we're overwhelmed. We see something at 75% off. We think, I've got to have that. I'll figure out later who I'm going to give it to. And it ends up sitting in our closet or our attic for a long period of time. So stay away from impulse buys. Stick to your plan. All right, next up, we're going to turn it over to Teresa for step number 2.
Great. And step number 2, we just want to caution you to limit your credit use. Because those credit card bills are going to come to you in January and February, and you regret all that credit spending if you don't watch yourself. So just limit yourself if you want to set yourself a budget with credit cards, but don't overdo it.
And tip number 3, have a list and stick to it. This is actually the fun part because you get to plan out what you're going to be buying, the people on your list, and how many items you're going to be purchasing for them, and at what cost do you have to spend, which leads to our tip number 4, which is setting a budget for how much you're going to spend per person. So have all those things planned out ahead of time, and like I said, I think that's the fun part of Christmas spending.
All right, tip number 5. Christmas can get very frustrating and aggravating when you have a tremendous number of people to shop for, especially if you have a huge family. It gets very expensive. So a gift exchange, drawing names, so you cut down on that expense a little bit. So if you allocate $50 per person rather than $50 for everybody on your list, you can save significantly. And people aren't upset when you draw their name or when they draw your name. It can be a fun way for a family to get completely involved. Maybe the kids don't participate, but it is a great way to cut down on some of the expense associated with Christmas. Number 6.
Right. And a cool thing with the gift exchanges, worst comes to worst, you get a gift you don't like. Our tip number 6 would be re-gift it. We all have that gift that, we just kind of throw off to the corner because we're never going to use it. Why not use it in your next gift exchange? Or, think of somebody else that might be able to use that gift. Maybe it's something that you already had that you're not going to get use out of. Give it to somebody that don't have it.
All right, good idea. The envelope system is something I've always enjoyed working with, and that's one of the few times I would actually advocate for using cash. And what you do is you'll take a group of envelopes, put everybody that you want to shop for, put their name on an envelope, allocate cash in each envelope, and take that shopping with you. When the envelope is empty, when the cash is gone, your shopping for that person is done. It keeps you on budget. It allows you to stick to your plan like you had talked about. You're not spending more on one than the other. So it's a real quick way. When the envelope's empty, shopping is done.
And the next tip number 8, is take advantage of coupons. If you're online shopping, do a Google search real quick for the item that you're purchasing or for the website that you're purchasing it from. See if there's any additional percentages off. Check your newspaper ads, check to make sure, do I have a coupon for this item that can give me a little extra percentage off, and especially for a bigger purchase item, make that purchase more worthwhile. And that leads into tip number 9. Time is better than money. So to avoid maybe spending so much cash, certainly to prevent using your credit card, keep in mind that the holidays is about spending time with your family, your loved ones, your friends, those who are closest to you. It doesn't always have to be about money, does it, guys?
Right.
So, spending quality time is worth much more than spending money.
Right. And that leads us into tip number 10, which kind of goes along with it. Using your skills to make a gift or offer a service as a gift. Be creative. Think outside the box. What can I do for somebody versus what can I get for them? That eliminates you having to spend that money.
I guess we're up to tip number 11 now.
Right.
And as we get older, we tend to accumulate stuff. I think it's harder and harder for us to tell people what to get us for Christmas, tell our kids what to get us for Christmas. A donation to a cause that we are involved with is typically a really good gift. For me, if somebody made a donation to the Humane Society, that would be an excellent gift for me. But it's a chance to do something not only for me, but for that organization. So a donation in somebody's name can be a really good gift. And tip number 12, it's already time to start planning for next year. You know, some of these great values that we're seeing right now, pick them up, put them away, and keep them in mind for next year. Right after Christmas, we're going to see a lot of clearance sales, a lot of closeout sales. And if you have some Christmas spending money left over, pick it up now, put it aside, and bring it out for next year. So make it a 12-month process rather than a 12-day process. And I think the last thing I'm going to talk about is just remind people to shop locally. I mean, we have a lot of great merchants here in the Mid-Ohio Valley. There are great deals on Amazon and eBay, but you know, some of those you can't avoid. But if you can, shop locally and invest in your community a little bit. So everybody, on behalf of Consumer Credit Counseling Service, have a Merry Christmas, and we'll be back in January.
Christmas.